What is going on, guys? Giganato Gaming here, and welcome back to another episode of Jurassic World Evolution 2. We are here on this new island here, and this time we had a lot of fun with the sanctuary, but this time we are going to be building an actual park, or at least trying to anyway. So this is how we're going to do this. So we're going to build a park with enclosures, and we're going to have some dinosaurs in here, some small herbivores, some small carnivores, large, medium, whatever. And we're going to try and build this park with as many species as possible. We'll have an aquatic section. We'll have a terrestrial or pterosaur section. It's going to be lit. So, yeah, if you find yourself enjoying this video and want more content like this, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Let's see if we could get this channel to 2,000 subscribers. That would be super amazing. But with that, let's begin the video. Is there a Jurassic Park arrival point? There should be a Jurassic Park arrival point. There we go. We got the arrival point going. And we're going to have this little section here. I might have to increase the terrain a little bit so we can get this done. So I kind of did a live stream on this not that long ago for 1,500 subscribers. I mean, nobody ended up watching it, but I was just happy to do a live stream again. So let's flatten this a little bit. Alright, let's get this going. So what I kind of want to do for over here, maybe get, what would it be, an innovation center? That'd be under attractions, right? Yeah, innovation center. Over here is where you'll be able to get everything going. We'll get some paths going. And over here could be our, like, amenities over here. So let's get some amenities going. Let's have them over here. There's more room over here. That's shopping. Let's get food. Put food next to it. Was there a Jurassic Park style one? There is a Jurassic Park style one. There we go. This will be like the area for the amenities. And I should probably put like a bathroom next to it. Let's put a bathroom in. Alright, and we also need an emergency shelter anyway. So let's get one. Let's see, emergency shelter. Let's get a Jurassic Park style one and maybe put it like over here. Of course, we got building constraints. Alright, there we go. We got that going. Alright, I kind of want to get a ranger station because why not? Let's go into operations, get a response facility, and maybe a maintenance facility. Let's get a Jurassic Park styled one. We'll put this like over here. Don't give me that terrain constraints nonsense. We probably won't really need it, but just in case. There we go. And then maybe getting a maintenance post next to it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I'm trying to make it, like, relatively pleasable. We'll get to the dinosaurs at some point. I just need to make sure this is done. There we go. That should be good. This is our little sanctuary here. Do we have any guests? We do have guests already. Alright. Next thing on the agenda, we should get an apartment. Yeah. Accommodation low. Piss off. Alright, let's get a hotel going. Maybe get a hotel so then people can stay a bit more. Alright, where's the hotel? Large hotel. There it is. Outside buildable area. Terrain constraints. Okay, can we stop with the terrain constraints? There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your comfort,
that should be good.
Increase the hotel capacity of the park.
So now, this isn't really ideal, but we'll have our enclosures. Let's get our first enclosure over here. Let's get like a small electrified fence. We'll have to raise the terrain a bit, so then they can't get out. That should be good, right? Hopefully. I'm thinking that's for like small herbivores, maybe Psittacosaurus or Lystrosaurus or something like that. I want to get our first dinosaur going. Alright, let's go into viewing gallery. Is there a Jurassic Park? There is a Jurassic Park style one. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, We have added a new viewing gallery.
So let's get some
ready for you
water
to
going.
observe our magnificent animals.
Maybe get some forest over here. That should be good. Alright, so, what we could do for here is get a delivery point. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Get a delivery point, and we should be good to go. Get a delivery zone. What about putting it here? Let's put it here for now. And then have, like, an area that's got a hatchery in it. Alright, so we are going to need a path. Alright, let's get a Jurassic Park style hatchery. Just put it over here for now. I will, of course, build more things as time goes on. We're going to need a path. Let's get a, what is it called? It's Hyperloop Station? Yeah, let's get a Hyperloop Station. There we go. That's pretty clever, wouldn't you agree? Alright, let's get our first dinosaur going. First, let's additional bays, accelerated growth. Alright, let's start us off with Lystrosaurus. Wherever that is. There it is. Alright, forgive the lag spikes. This game's kind of buggy at the moment. Alright, let's modify the genome so they have a 25% chance of getting each trait. And we're going to use a delivery point. Alright, let's get, I don't know, one male. Ooh, I like this male, that male more. Alright, let's get one male and 3 females. Alright, so what do they need? Ground fiber, ground leaf, and pasture. There we go. That should be good. That'll be the Lystrosaurs. Alright, let's release via airlift. Let's deliver them over here. Alright, we're getting a delivery unit. That's a lot easier. And they require small nests. So let's get some small nests in case they want to do some breeding. There we go. The Lystros are being teleported to the enclosure. They're being delivered. Alright, they shouldn't get out because the terrain is a bit too steep for them. We'll get maybe another Hyperloop. Let's get another Hyperloop station so people can get to the enclosure a bit quicker. We can connect that over there. There we go. That's good. We're ready to release from the container. There we go. The Lystros are being released. Our first dinosaur. Well, not dinosaur. Our first prehistoric creature. And you guys have a chance to name our creatures, so we're gonna be a-okay with that. Alright, there we go. Lystrosaurus is being transported. We're already at 1 star, which is awesome. And I'm thinking about releasing something else in here. Maybe Psittacosaurus. Yeah, let's get Psittacosaurus in here. And let's have them delivered to the delivery zone as well. Let's have 2 males and 4 females. Let's go. Alright, so there's our first enclosure. It's the Lystrosaurus and the Psittacosaurus. I don't think we really need a viewing dome unless we want one. Let's see about getting a viewing dome. Wait, I wonder if I can put it on the rock. Wait, can I put a viewing dome on the rock? Kind of. I can kind of put it on the rock. There we go. Okay, let me just release the Psittacosaurs. Alright, we're doing good so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Psittacosaurus to the park.
Let me see if I can raise the terrain a bit so they don't get out. Alright. That way there, people can see the Psittacosaurs and the Lystrosaurs from over here. That's a cool idea. A really cool idea. Alright, so they got their water, they've got their food. Are the Psittacos missing anything? Ground fruit and ground nut. Alright, there we go. They should be content now. There we go. Maybe get one more small nest. Just in case. There we go. I don't know if anyone's claimed any nests yet, but we got our first dinosaur here. Alright, let's get maybe something a little larger over here. Let's just get an enclosure altogether for them. Alright, that should be good. Hopefully. We could put this over here. You know, let's wall this off. So that's isolated. There we go. Alright, let's, I think they've got wetland. They've got all the wetland they could want. So I think the Psittacos are content. The Listros are content. Where are the Psittacosaurs? There they are. Yeah, they're content. We got a nest claimed by a Listro. Awesome. Alright, I want to get a carnivore going. Let's get another viewing gallery. Jurassic Park style viewing gallery. There we go. Alright, this is where I'm thinking Dilophosaurus can go in here. Let's get a delivery zone for over here. We'll get a delivery zone. And then we need some water. And I'm pretty sure Dilophosaurus prefers, like, wetland and small nests. I think they're small. Either that or medium. I'm not sure. Alright, let's get Dilophosaurus going. So let's switch over to carnivore. Or should we get Guanlong? Yeah, we've seen Guanlong a lot. We haven't really seen Dilophosaurus much. Let's get Dilophosaurus going. Alright, for the Dilophosaurs, let's maybe get 2 males. And then the rest of them are female. Get all of them in here. And then what do they want? Prey, pasture. They want pasture and some cover. They should have cover taken care of. Let's get some pasture. We need deer feeders and pig feeders and cow feeders. I feel like that'd be really cool. Frontier, if you're listening to this, make that happen. I want to see cow feeders, pig feeders, deer feeders. You know, to coincide with Jurassic World Dominion and Jurassic Park and even Jurassic World. There we go. Let's release the Dilophosaurs.
We have added a new viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our magnificent animals.
All right. Dilophosaurus should boost up the ratings a little bit.
Dilophosaurus to the park.
That should be cool. Are you guys content? You do need a bit of wetland, so let's get some wetland going. All right, they don't have enough space. Oh my god, I was worried that would happen. Let me give them some more space. Okay, can we not be outside the buildable area, please? There we go. That's good enough. The Dilophosaurs have plenty of space, and they're overall happy. Alright, let me raise the terrain a bit more, just in case. Yeah, when in doubt, you're better off just raising the terrain. Alright, so I think the Dilophosaurs are done, so we can demolish that. Alright, what do these guys require for breeding? Medium nests. Alright, let's get some medium nests going. Nest claimed by a Psittacosaurus. That's awesome. Alright, where's enclosures? There it is. And we'll put one over... I don't know, we'll put one over here. There we go. That should be good. We've got our small carnivore, and we've got a couple of small herbivores here, which is awesome. Alright, let's do some expansions, shall we? First things first, let's flatten the terrain. I want to get one more enclosure in before the end of the episode. Alright, let's get a little valley going. Over here is where you'll have maybe like some larger herbivores, I'm thinking. We have some eggs found in the small nest, probably either Listros or Psittacosaurs, I would imagine. Alright, let's clear away the trees that are here, because we don't need them. And this will be the last enclosure for the episode. We've got a big area here we could use as like a like a gyrosphere tour or something like that. Let's flatten the terrain. And then we'll have like a hyperloop that like teleports you over to the next enclosure. Yeah, that's what we could do. Over here, I'm thinking about having like, I don't know, maybe Triceratops in here. You know, something a little bit larger. Maybe a Hadrosaur or two. So this will be like relatively larger herbivores. So like maybe Triceratops and Edmontosaurus or something like that. Yeah, that could work. Alright. Let's get another viewing gallery. We'll get another viewing gallery. That's under attractions, right? Yep. There we go. We got that.
We have added a new viewing
Let's have like a watering hole over here.
Magnificent animals.
I'm thinking maybe we could put Edmontosaurus, Maiasaura, Triceratops, and Ankylosaurus in here. Yeah, we could do that. We'll just have like a place with 4 herbivores in it. So this will be where they go. Alright, maybe expand the fence a little bit. Just until it says terrain too steep. Alright, that should be good. Alright, that should be good. I don't think anything's getting out of here. Alright, let's maybe put this over here. If they end up needing more space, I'm going to be very annoyed. There we go, just to make sure they don't get out. We got Dilophosaurus claiming nests. That's awesome. Alright, how big is the enclosure overall? That's pretty big, I would say. Alright, let's get started. So let's start with... Alright, let's get all herbivores. We'll start with, I don't know. Maybe we'll get a small herbivore in there. Maybe Dryosaurus, just to add some more variety to it. There we go. Let's increase that. Edmontosaurus, they're not very fussy. Let's get, I don't know, maybe Maiasaura? Let's get Maiasaura. Triceratops. Let's get Ankylosaurus first off. Maybe get 2 Ankylos. That's it. And finally, Triceratops. Alright. So let's get 2 males for the Dryosaurs. For the Edmontosaurs, we'll get, I don't know, 2 males and 3 females. For the Maiasaura, we'll get 2 males and 2 females. For the Trikes, we'll get a male and 3 females. And then for the Ankylos, we'll get 1 of each.
We are pleased to welcome a Dilophosaurus.
Wait, I almost forgot. Oh, wait, we missing something? We got some juvenile Dilophosaurs. How did I miss that? That is awesome. We got a bunch of them over here. What else do we have in here? Oh, wrong button. Do we have any... We have a Listro that got out. And those are more Psittacosaurs. Yeah, we got a Listro that got out. Let's deal with that. Anyway, let's get a delivery point over here. I have a feeling some of them might need more space. And if that's the case, we'll see how the Dryos get on. Let's release the Dryos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Dryosaurus to the park.
Now, what do they need? Yep, ground leaf and ground fiber, I figured. And Montosaurus, they should be good. We just need some pasture for them. Do the Dryosaurs need anything else? Pasture. Alright, they've got the pasture they need. Alright, let's go ahead and, we'll build nests afterwards. Alright, let's release the Edmontosaurs over here as well. And let's release the Edmontosaurs.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome an Edmontosaurus to the park.
Alright, They're looking around for whatever they need. There's ground fiber. You just gotta look for it. You just gotta know where to find it. Let's move on to the Maiasaura. Let's deliver that. What are they? Ground nut. Okay. I just realized I don't think the trikes and the ankylos are gonna have enough space here. Movement and nest. What do we got? Lystrosaurs. Awesome. So yeah, I think we might need to release the trikes and the ankylos in a separate enclosure. The trikes should be fine. But the ankylosaurs, yeah, that's different. Alright, let's release the Maiasaur. They should be fine in here. We're already at 3 stars. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I think the ankylos and trikes might need a little more space. There's ground fiber in your territory, as well as ground nut. Alright, they should be completely happy now. Completely content. Now let's get some medium nests. The Dryosaurs need medium nests. Medium. Okay, everything's medium. Alright, cool. There we go. That should be them good. We got Maiasaura, Dryosaurus, and Edmontosaurus. Now for the Ankylosaurs and the Triceratops, let's maybe put them like over here, maybe. Movement and nest, what do we got? More Psittacosaurs. Awesome. Alright. So we got our Ankylosaur and Triceratops enclosure. Now let's add in... I know they need some ground fiber, some ground fruit. There we go, that should be good. Let's get a viewing gallery going. And maybe next episode we could work on the park tour as well as maybe an aviary or something. Alright, I think some of them do need forest. Let's get some forest going anyway. Cover that up. Alright, we should be good to go. Let's start by releasing the Ankylosaur. Oh, wait, hold on. I almost forgot. We need a delivery zone. Wait, can we move this? We can move this. That makes it way more convenient. And put them all over here. So ground fruit and ground leaf. Okay, ground leaf, and then trikes need ground fiber. Alright. That's fair enough. Alright, let's get some ground leaf going as well. And then maybe get a hyperloop. Let's get one of those hyperloop tunnel things. We got a nest claimed by Maiasaura. Awesome. I'm enjoying this. Excuse me. That's not for climbing. Terrain. We've already got hadrosaurs getting out. We don't want them to get out. Capture team, we're gonna have to tranquilize that guy. Alright, we missed the release of the Ankylosaurs. Alright, they're expanding their territory. We got movement in the nest. We got some Dryosaurs. Awesome. Alright, what else do we have? Edmontosaurus claiming a nest. That's awesome. And then let's finally get the trikes out here. Alright, the trikes are being transported over to their new enclosure. We've got some Edmontosaurs ready to hatch, and we've got some more Psittacosaurs. Awesome. Cool. Let's release the Triceratops. I want to see them in here. Let's release the Triceratops. And then we've got some Maiasaura hatching up, which is awesome. Always good to see. Anything else got out? Oh, we don't have anything that got out. That's good. Alright, the Ankylosaurs are completely fine. The trikes are forming their territory. Let's get rid of this. This is our park so far. Looking cool, I must say. We'll definitely expand more as time goes on. And I'll definitely do the amenities and restrooms, whatever needs coverage off camera. And yeah, with that, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.